Welcome to Out of the Hat Gaming. I'm Anthony as always, and today we're going to be looking at 57 facts from the classic PS2 title, Jak 3. And yes, you heard it and you read it right. 57 facts, not 50, not 100 or 101, not 10, 57 facts. And thank you Nelson Morales for giving me that random number. I have really been wanting to bring something a little bit different to the channel, and I've never done a fact video before, so here it is. Jak 3 is a very ostentatious game, and that would make a whole lot of sense if I knew what ostentatious meant. But without further ado, this is 57 facts about Jak 3, the PS2 Classic that I never played, but should have. My gosh, my titles are getting really long. Number 1, Jak 3 was released November 9th, 2004 in North America, November 26th, 2004 in Europe, and for some reason it doesn't specify what day in November of 2004 it was released in Australia. Weird. Number 2, Jak 3 was developed by Naughty Dog, and Naughty Dog is responsible for other amazing titles like the Crash Bandicoot series, Rings of Power, and some newer stuff like Uncharted or The Last of Us, and it was published by Sony Computer Entertainment. Number 3, Jak 3 is a PlayStation exclusive. Sony Computer Entertainment, you know, they own PlayStation, so anything published by that company will most likely be on PlayStation only. Number 4, Jak 3 is a conclusion of the trilogy which started with Jak and Daxter and Jak 2, and the game was followed up by Jak X Combat Racing. I don't think that Jak X is considered a continuation, but more of a spin-off. Number 5, the gameplay of Jak 3 is a blend of platforming, driving, and gun combat. This game leads you through the story as you complete missions assigned by various characters in the game. Missions can consist of anything from defeating particular enemies, reaching a specific location, or completing a puzzle, with the exception of timed or otherwise linear missions. The player is free to explore the massive game world as they see fit, and massive it is. Number 6, secrets can be purchased and toggled by collecting orbs or progressing through the game, allowing the player to access, quote, cheats such as upgrading weapon damage, world mirroring, or invincibility. Number 7, after the game had been completed, the hero mode option is made accessible, which when purchased allows the player to replay the game at a higher difficulty level, but with all the previous unlocks and cheats and extras still available. Number 8, as I briefly mentioned, Jak 3 also allows you to collect Precursor Orbs. These orbs allow you to purchase secrets in the game, but if you collect all 600 orbs, it will have some cosmic effect on Jak's appearance, but has no effect other than this. Number 9, if you complete the game and start over in hero mode, Jak keeps all 12 of his weapons but loses his light flight along with 2 of his dark powers until they are collected in their parts in the game. Number 10, Jak 3 has a total number of 25 different maps, and that's because whenever you go to a different area, a new map will just load in. I tried to find the actual size of these maps online, but it doesn't look like anyone has actually done the calculations, and I'm not smart enough to pull that off. Just know that each map feels very large, and they are. Number 11, Jak 3 has a total of 3 modifications of each gun, giving Jak a powerful loadout of 12 weapons. Well, technically there's only 4 different guns, but each gun has 3 different modifications, so it's like having 12. Number 12, Jak 3 also includes the Dark Jak form, which was introduced in Jak 2, and it allows Jak to transform into a more powerful offensive version, and is countered by the Light Jak form that mainly focuses on the defensive abilities, like being invisible and getting you through platforming sections, stuff like that. Number 13, Jak 3 takes place in an unnamed fictional universe created by Naughty Dog specifically for the games. The game is set a year after the events of Jak 2. Jak 3 largely focuses on the Wasteland, which is a large desert only briefly referred to in the previous entry in the series as being completely uninhabited and inhospitable. Spargus City, which is the largest settlement within the Wasteland bordering the ocean. As we found out in the game, there is actually a city within the Wasteland, and this is where the game begins. And it also serves as a hub for the player, where new weapons and upgrades can be earned, and most of the missions are given out. Later on, the plot shifts and focuses on Haven City, which is the sprawling metropolis which was the main location in Jak 2, though the area was only a fifth the size of the Wasteland. Number 14, some areas of the previous games are radically altered or removed entirely, while others are added, branching off from Spargus City and the Wasteland and Haven. The areas altered are Haven Forest and the Metropolis area. The city that was removed entirely is Bazaar in Haven, but the city that was added was New Haven City. Number 15, just like the games before it, Jak 3's two main protagonists are Jak and his best friend Daxter the Ottsel, which is a fictional hybrid between an otter and a weasel. Jak is revealed to have the birth name of Mar in the game, named after his ancestor and the original founder of Haven City, Mar. Number 16, Jak's mechanic friend and potential love interest Kiera returns in this game. There's also Ashelin, the governor of Haven City, who was previously involved with Torn, the now commander of the Freedom League. Daxter's love interest Tess returns as a weapons designer, which is kind of weird because, you know, he's an animal and she's more or less a humanoid thing. I'm still a little unclear on what these creatures actually are. I'm guessing they're supposed to be some sort of humans, just with really pointy ears. So elves, I guess? I mean, there is a happy ending for Daxter and Tess, so I guess it kind of works out.
We owe you much, Daxter, for all you've done. For your bravery in the face of incredible danger, we shall grant you your deepest desire.
You know, I could really use a snazzy pair of pants, like yours.
Wow, those are sharp. I wish I had a pair just like that.
Be careful what you wish for.
Don't worry, honey. You get used to it. Oh, and you may want to shave some parts. Trust me on that.
Number 17, a new character, Damas, is first introduced in Jak 3. It is revealed that not only did Damas lose his son, but he was the leader of Haven City before being betrayed by Baron, Praxis, and being banished to the desert. And of course, if things are starting to click, Damas is Jak's father. Number 18, more minor characters return from the previous Jak entries, including Sig, who is a spy for Damas back in Haven City, who later becomes the new king of Spargus after Damas is killed, Jinx, a former member of the Underground, Vin, whose brain now resides inside a computer, and Pecker, which is probably the funniest name I have heard all year. And Pecker is Onin's translator from Jak 2, who becomes an advisor to Damas in the early parts of the game. Number 19. A few of the original antagonists from Jak 2 also reappear in this game, and a new secondary villain is Count Veigar, who is a self-absorbed Haven City aristocrat who banishes Jak to the wasteland in the beginning of the game. It's later revealed that Veigar attacked the palace himself, wishing to journey to the core of the planet to gain the power of the Precursors. Even as he attempts this, a species known as the Darkmakers invade the planet, seeking to destroy it. The Darkmakers are precursors who have been corrupted by Dark Eco, similar to the antagonist of the Precursor Legacy, which was the first Jak and Daxter game. Number 20. The main antagonist is former Crimson Guard Commander Errol. He was first introduced in Jak 2, but now he's renamed Cyber Errol. He is a cybernetic version of himself, as he was badly wounded in Jak 2 when he crashed into a supply of eco barrels in an attempt to kill Jak. Sometime before the start of the game, he restarts the manufacturing of Crimson Guard Deathbots, whose original factory was shut down during the events in the previous game. Errol launches a war against Haven City in tandem with the remaining Metalhead monsters, and later forges an alliance with the Darkmakers. He obtains a massive Darkmaker transforming robot at the end of the game, in which he attempts to destroy the planet. The Terraformer is destroyed by Jak as it advances through the wasteland towards Spargus City. Man, I really have to play the other two games. Number 21. Hey, this video is old enough to drink now. Back to the development part of the facts. Jak 3 was first revealed to be in the works by one of the Superplays writers on January 8th, 2004. While browsing the Naughty Dog offices, he saw early work being done for the desert environments. Number 22. Jak 3 was first announced by Sony Computer Entertainment on February 24th, 2004. On April 19th, 2004, information was revealed about the plot and the gameplay. Number 23. The voice acting was jointly recorded in the Los Angeles-based Pop Sound and the New York City-based Howard Schultz recording. Number 24. The original soundtrack for Jak 3 was composed by Josh Mansell and Larry Hopkins, and was released on a CD by Sony Computer Entertainment as an exclusive product for the limited time Run Games Collector's Edition of Jak 3 on April 26, 2019. And I actually found this on eBay, and it's not as expensive as I thought it would be, but if you want to buy anything new from limited run games, obviously it's pretty much sold out. So eBay would be your best bet. And I'm actually just being a little bit modest. Yeah, it's actually quite expensive. Number 25, the reception for Jak 3 was pretty good, scoring an 84 on Metacritic, a 9.25 on Game Informer, 8.6 on GameSpot, and 9.6 from IGN, so almost perfect scores all across the board. Number 26, in 2012, Jak 3 was remastered in the Jak and Daxter collection on PlayStation 3, with the collection releasing on PlayStation Vita a year later. In 2017, Jak 3 was ported to the PlayStation 4 with some trophies added. Number 27, Jak 3 sold 1.85 million copies as of January 2016. 71% of the sales were in the US, 26% were in Europe, and the rest were in other regions. Though this is considered successful, the sales were the lowest of the original trilogy, at less than half the sales of the Precursor Legacy and just over half of the sales of Jak 2. Number 28, Jak 3 is the final game in the series, and there are 2 spin-off games that popped up after Jak 3, but they didn't do nearly as well as the first 2 games in the series. There were rumors of a Jak 4 in the works, but they scrapped the idea in favor of creating The Last of Us. And I'm sorry, but good choice. The Last of Us was an amazing game. Number 29, Jak 3 has been ahead of its time with a dynamic day-night cycle, and it lasts about 90 to 95 minutes. There are no loading screens when traveling from place to place as well. In fact, there is a little traveling cutscene that you might encounter if you're going from one place to another, and this actually acts as the loading screen. But it's so natural to the game that you can't even tell that it's a loading screen. Number 30, Jak 3 is only 2/3 the length of Jak 2, so it's about 12 hours of one playthrough if you were to focus on the story mission. Or if you're like me and you suck, then you end up taking 20 hours to play it because you die so many times. Number 31, in some areas in Jak 3 you can drive around in these hover cars, and some of these hover cars are like a motorcycle hybrid, like the Oppressor MK II. I just thought that was funny, and I thought I should mention it because it's actually kind of cool. It's not really a fact, it's just kind of cool. But you know, this is my video, so I can call it a fact if I want. Number 32. The light Jak Power you obtain in the game is really only useful in one mission in the entire game, which kind of sucks because I feel that this ability has a lot of potential and it just didn't live up to it. Number 33. When dying in Jak 3, the ammo in your weapons is set to a certain amount, so you never have to worry about actually losing any ammo if you die or having to collect ammo again. Number 34. If you follow the lore from the first 2 games, Jak in Jak 3 should be about 18 years old. While Daxter, I'm not really sure. I actually scoured the internet and I could not find Daxter's age anywhere. Number 35. In an interview, Naughty Dog's creative director Dan Arey said that Jak is the hero that you want to be and Daxter is the hero that you're afraid you are. Daxter is just a little bit concerned, a little bit afraid, and he would rather take the easy way out. He also said that they use Daxter as the secret weapon for when scenes are starting to get boring. And correct they are, he always seemed to be the comic relief. Number 36. There are a total of 8 drivable vehicles in Jak 3, which most of the time you can't choose which one you want to use during a mission. The game usually forces you into a specific vehicle that is specifically for that particular mission. 3 of these 8 vehicles are made only purchasable in the secret menu. These 3 vehicles would be a really cool addition if they would help you in any mission, but really they're just for cosmetic or something for exploring outside of missions. Number 37. If you walk up to a random pedestrian and just start shooting at them, they will actually shoot back. But what you can do as a fun time killer is cause the NPC to start shooting at you, and you can make them hit other NPCs, and the other NPCs will start shooting that NPC that was shooting you. So you can basically start a whole war of NPCs just shooting each other. It's pretty funny. Number 38. There are 3 main boss fights in Jak 3. The Precursor Robot, Cyber Errol, and the Darkmaker Transformed. The first boss had Crash Bandicoot boss battle vibes, and it was a little difficult, but it was still quite enjoyable. The Cyber Errol boss battle was a bit of a joke as far as how easy it was. And the Darkmaker Transformed wasn't too difficult, it was just long and tedious, plus it was a little annoying with what you had to do in each stage. That's all in my opinion, by the way. Number 39. In a preview build of Jak 3, it's possible to play as Jak from Jak 2. Although this secret is not present in the final version, it's still possible to trigger it by editing the game's memory in the same place the secrets are kept track of. I haven't tried this, and I'm unsure if this actually works for the PS4 port of the game, which is what I'm playing. However, the footage you are seeing currently is from a channel called Luminar Light. I think that's how you pronounce it. This guy has a little over 3,000 subscribers, and apparently they are doing just Jak and Daxter videos, so it's actually kind of cool. So go show them some love over on their channel as well. The link will be in the description. Number 40. Speaking of the PS4 port, Jak 3 had 2 limited batches released on the PS4 on April 26th, 2019. The Jak 3's Collector's Edition was only limited to 3,500 copies, which included the game, a foil stamped CE box, official expanded 3-disc soundtrack, Jak 3's design bible, and a 3-inch metal morph gun blaster replica, and some other goodies. Number 41. After defeating Jak 3's final boss by using the debug controls and using a free camera mode during the game's cutscene, you can actually see Jak and Ashelin Praxis kissing on screen, rather than cutting to Daxter. Often these scenes would not be fully animated, but the characters' expressions changed where they would not usually be seen. Number 42. Daxter is Jak's sidekick and best friend. He's supposed to be a fictional animal, an Otzel, which is a half otter and half weasel type thing. Number 43. In the Freedom HQ, you can find a series of scenes that have some precursor text scrolling on them. When translated, the text becomes a farewell message to Naughty Dog's pet/mascot, Morgan, who died at age 13.
In Jak 3, when inside the war room, you will see many computer screens displaying ancient precursor language. When you translate the messages using the precursor alphabet, they read, "Morgan, I miss you," "Morgan, 13 years hard time, there will never be another," "Good dog, I will always love you." And on another computer, they read, "Morgan is so ill, missed even after a year has passed," serving as a tribute to the dog that one of the Naughty Dog game designers lost the year prior.
His voice was a little bit creepy, but yeah, subscribe to his channel as well, Games to Goo, or Go, maybe, I'm not really sure, but link is in the description. Just like all the videos that I'm using, check out all of their channels. All the links are in the description. Number 44. Naughty Dog and Insomniac games have a very close relationship, so much so that the two studios actually share technology with each other. With that being said, there are a few Ratchet and Clank Easter eggs in Jak and Daxter series that is implied that Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter are in the same universe. Number 45. In Haven City, if you go to the westernmost part of the waterfront area, make sure you do not pass the area where the metalheads have taken over. But if you use the light Jak flight glitch, which is the X button and circle button over and over again, to fly behind the wall, there should be a casual looking box just chillin'. Walk Jak into the area of the box and position the camera to see inside the box, and there you should see a picture of some game developers as an Easter egg. Number 46. Sometimes in the desert you have to collect artifacts. Some of these artifacts are pyramid shaped, and these are what you use to play sheep invaders in Ratchet and Clank Going Commando in Clank's apartment. That was one of my favorite games. Number 47. Another Ratchet and Clank reference in Jak 3 is that Ratchet and Clank appear as civilian targets in separate Ratchet and Clank gun courses. Number 48. Jak 3 had two game designers, Evan Wells and Richard Lamarchan. These two are also behind other awesome games like Crash Bandicoot, Warped, Uncharted, and The Last of Us. Number 49. Originally, Jak was actually a silent protagonist, a lot like GTA 3, but due to some player feedback, a decision was made to give him a voice. Number 50. Jak was originally supposed to look like a human wolf-like creature, but as the design process furthered, they decided to make him look more human. Jak's character design was inspired by manga and Western cartoon characters. Number 51. Jak 3 once had commercials that would parody Star Wars.
It's over. There's just one thing left to say. I am your father.
What?
I'm your father!
Right, yeah.
Listen to your feelings.
You're not my
No,
father.
seriously, your mother and I...
The epic Jak trilogy is coming to its dramatic conclusion.
before you were born, obviously.
Rest assured, it won't end like this.
Number 52, Jak 3 was one of the most demanding games on the PlayStation 2 system. Some of the language code for the game had to be used on the PlayStation 1 parts of the PlayStation 2 to actually function properly. There were actually no parts of the PlayStation 2 left that were not used for this game's performance. It used every single part of it. Number 53, Jak 3 had a budget of $10 million. Number 54, on the PS3 version of Jak 3, the company Mass Media Inc. upscaled the textures in the game to actually make it look better than the textures on the version you are currently looking at. Weird, I know, because I was playing the PS4 version on the PS5. Of course, while I was playing it on the PS5, it did take care of the lag and crash issues that I guess it was having on the actual PS4 version when you played on PS4. Number 55, I love a good fourth wall breaking joke. In the mission where you have to beat the monks in the Leaper race, they show a hilarious fourth wall break.
You are still here?
Yeah, we thought we'd hang out, catch some rays.
This isn't a game.
Gotta love it. Number 56, in Jak 3, there are some missions that you can see may have stayed with Naughty Dog over the years, like this. If you've played Uncharted 2, you can see that this bridge mission where you have to escape the crumbling bridge was a mission in Uncharted 2 that was directly inspired by this mission in Jak 3. See what I mean? Now on to number 57. This next fact isn't exactly about Jak 3, but Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart. There are a few really cool Jak and Daxter Easter eggs, or cameos, or whatever you want to call them, in this game. Here is a clip of some of them. And now for a bonus fact, mainly because I messed up the counts and accidentally added one more while I was making the script for the final fact, and quite a menial one. Jak, Daxter, Kiera, and Samos, is that how you pronounce his name? Are the only characters from the first game that appear in all of the main series of games. And that will do it for this fact video. I will most likely do more in the future, given if you guys like these types of videos. If you do, be sure to let me know in the comments and let me know how I can make these videos better. I'm always open for constructive criticism. And as always, if you liked the video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like it. And until next time, I won't see you, but you will see me, or at least hear my voice, in the next video. And now on to the next game I'm going to draw out of the hat. Oh, we're ready. Okay, cool. Drawing the next game. Kind of excited for this, actually. So, let's grab one of these here. It's also one of the bigger ones. Dead by Daylight. Oh my gosh. I don't know anything about this game. So I think that's an online game, right? Yeah. I'll give it a shot. You know, I might, depending on what it is, I might either just stream it or something, because I know there's a lot of people that stream it, or I might, I don't know, I'll figure something out. But Dead by Daylight is the next game I'm playing, so cool.